Hi, my little sweet pumpkin candies. Hi, I love it. That was compliments of Adrian. I didn't know what to call yous today. So sweet pumpkin candies it is. Welcome to another episode of Uncomplicated Vegan, where we make things tasty, healthy, and uncomplicated. Today, we are making Tofu Cutlet Parm with vodka sauce over spaghetti, because that's what I want. And I'm hungry. And it's almost lunchtime. So let's do this together. Come with me and I'll show you how to make it. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our tofu. You cut it however you want. You want to cut it this way, you want to cut it this way, you want to cut it this way. I'm going to cut it this way because what we're going to do first is we're going to boil this in water for about 10 minutes. This will help firm up the tofu. It still gives it that softer texture. You can also freeze it the night before and then defrost it. And that gives it more of a spongier texture. I'm no fan of that. So I cut it like this and then we're gonna boil it in salted water for about 10 minutes. Okay, the water is boiling and it is salted. And we're gonna throw in our pieces. We're gonna cook them for 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes are up. We're gonna take out the first batch, drain as much water off of them as you can, and drain them on a paper towel. I got 3 of them folded up here just to soak up all that water. But this has now firmed up the texture, and these will hold together when we're frying them. Drop the other 3 in, another 10 minutes. So while the second set is cooking, I set up my little dredging station. I have flour here that I heavily salted and peppered. I have the just egg with salt, pepper, a little kala namak, parsley, and the Violife Parm cheese. And then this is already seasoned breadcrumb. And so this will be our little dredging station. Now I've never made these cutlets using the just egg. This is my first time using the egg substitute. So if it is glorious, you'll witness it. And if it is a complete and total bomb, you'll witness it. Okay, these are almost ready to come out. In the meantime, I did preheat my oven to 250 so that this way when I'm done frying the cutlets, I could put them in the tin and then put them in the oven just to keep them warm while we're making the vodka sauce. I just put my water in the pot here to boil up to cook our pasta. That's going to take some time also. And so all these things will come together and be ready at the same time. All right, guys, let's get ready to fry up these cutlets. I put enough olive oil in here to coat the bottom of the pan. All right, so now I just turned it down to a medium heat because you do not want this to burn. You're going to keep cooking. There's going to be things and particles falling to the bottom, and if the heat is too high, it's going to burn. So I'm going to put them down to like between 3 and 4. This is ready. You want to be very careful. And we're going to start. We're going to dredge in the flour first. Okay, you shake off the flour. We'll dip it into the egg. Okay. Let's see how this comes. Then dip it into the breadcrumb. Always want to use a dry hand and a wet hand. Great, so we'll put our first one in. Beautiful. Now a question I get asked a lot is, how do you know when something's ready if you don't really ever do time for anything? And my answer always is, I can smell when it's ready. Does anybody else have that same little quirky trick that they know when something is done cooking because of a certain smell? Let me know in the comments. Okay, I just smelled. It's ready to flip. And I'm always right. Look how beautiful. Look at that golden brown color. Ah, gorgeous. I love those. Look beautiful. Now see what I mean? Keeping it on a low flame, a low heat, they get nice and golden brown and they don't burn. And that is what we want, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, these are ready to take out. I'm going to put it in my tin. And then we'll put the other 3 in. And then we'll put them in the oven just to keep warm while we make everything else. Okay, these are ready to flip. Oh, gorgeous. And you'll always know that they're ready to flip also, not even just by the smell, but if they lift up easily, they have cooked all the way through. If you got to fight with it to flip, don't flip it. All right, these are good to go. And next, we will make the sauce. into the oven these go to stay warm at 250. I won't cover them because then they'll get soggy. And we want them to stay nice and crispy. For the sauce, we are going to chop up a shallot, nice and fine. Good. Okay, we're gonna put some olive oil in a pan. Turn on our heat. Nice, low, medium. We're gonna throw in our shallot. Oh, I love the smell of shallots. We're gonna do salt and pepper. Okay, that's been going for about 30 seconds. Okay, we're gonna add tomato paste. I'm making a lot because I'm doing a whole pound of spaghetti, and also we're going to make the chicken cutlets with the vodka sauce as well. Another little scoop, never hurt nobody. And of course we want to cook this out for about a minute. Okay, that's been cooking for about a minute and a half. I've been stirring it just to get the rawness out of the tomato paste. And now we're going to add our vodka. I got these little mini shooters. I'm going to start with one. I got two just in case. If you are working over an open flame, please be careful. Let's add some salt to our pasta water. You want it to be like il mare, or else the pasta will taste shabby. We don't want that. Now I'm going to lower the heat and I'm going to add in my cream. This is really heavy and thick cream, so you gotta really squeeze the carton. And then obviously we're going to thin it out by adding some pasta water once the pasta's been cooked. So we'll give this a nice stir, and then we'll adjust seasonings. Do not worry about the taste until after this is cooked. Alright, we're going to put in the pasta. Okay. And together, I'm going to give it a little taste first. I'm still not going to add any salt until after I add the pasta water because I salted the pasta water. Your mother. Oh, that's good. Woo! But I am going to add some red pepper flakes. Always. Oh, and then I'm going to cut up some basil and we'll throw that in as well. Alright, we're going to take our leaves, we're going to roll them up, and we will chiffonade them. So you just roll them like this. Take your beautiful Cutlets knife, link to it in the bio, and you make like little ribbons. Throw that in. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm so hungry, I can't wait to eat. Okay, the pasta is ready to be scolad. So I got the scola pasta ready. We're gonna first take some of the liquid out, throw it in here, just to thin this out. The 3 scoops, give that a little stir. All right, let's taste, see what it needs. It's a beautiful consistency, pretty color. Smidge more salt and black pepper. And just for the hell of it, red pepper flakes too. I don't know why I love them. All right, let's assemble. Okay, just took the cutlets out of the oven, and now I put the oven on broil because that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna take some of our sauce. We're just gonna put it on a little bit of each, a little bit on each one. Good. Okay. I have the Daya mozzarella shreds. So we'll put that on. put a little of the shredded Violife Parm. I shredded that up before. Great. And just cover with a little black pepper. Good. So we're gonna put this on broil. Everybody's oven is different, so just keep watch. Okay, mine are ready. They were literally in there for 45 seconds. Let's see what they look like. And beautiful. Wow. Look how gorgeous that is. Beautiful. All right, let's plate up. Okay, guys. Here she is. I'll show you in the other way too. This looks beautiful. Get a nice look at that. Look at that. And now, the taste test. My favorite part. Okay, the reveal of the taste. Let's see. Now obviously it's not real chicken, so you don't need to really use a knife to cut it. But let's see how this comes out. Probably the best cutlet I've ever made in my entire life. Let's see the pasta. Does anybody here, when they twirl pasta, do they use a spoon or do they just go old school with a fork and just twist and then shove the whole thing in their mouth, and whatever makes it in, and whatever doesn't, doesn't? You know, sometimes I surprise myself. I don't even have a word for that. It's probably the best dish I've done so far, and this is episode 25. That's probably the most thing that I enjoy. I'm gonna go eat now because I deserve it. This took an hour to make start to finish. Was it time consuming? Yes. But was it complicated? Absolutely not. And for Sunday, it's special. You do a little bit more on Sunday because you're not working. You want to eat something comforting, and just right before you start your work week, you want to just eat something that's a little nostalgic probably. So I'm going to eat that. That was fabulous. If you guys make it, let me know what you think. And I'll see you next time on Uncomplicated Vegan. Ciao a tutti.